Mr. Burnum, and we are the agriculture teachers here at Lincoln County High School.
Well, we are also two of the FFA advisors here. Today we're going to talk to you a little bit. You guys are getting the opportunity to draw this picture and color it in your classrooms, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that are in this picture, specifically the fruits that are here and how they kind of affect diet and nutrition and some other things that go along with that.
So we know that eating is important. We all love a good cookie or a fantastic brownie or even that great birthday cake. But we also know that it's important that we eat healthy choices too. Fruits and vegetables are wonderful healthy choices that help you to balance out your diet. So you have that cookie, then you can have that apple. So we want to make sure that we balance all of those kinds of things and get our vitamins and our nutrients available. Some interesting things specifically about what we're seeing in this picture is about where they come from and maybe even where their nutritional value comes from. Did you know that for an apple or even a potato, the outside of that is where most of your nutrition comes from? You get more vitamins and more nutrients from the peel of an apple or the skin on a potato. I know some people don't like to eat those things, but that's where all your nutrition and your vitamins is coming from. So it's good to try to learn how to eat things that you may think sound gross or look gross to you, but if you get used to it, it's good for your bodies.
In this picture we also have an orange and a lemon. Those are considered citrus fruits. Citrus is very high in vitamin C. Vitamin C is really beneficial to our bodies because it helps us fight off infections. It also comes in other fruits such as limes and tangerines, the little halos that you get. Those are also citrus fruits as well, really high in vitamin C. And if you don't get enough vitamin C in your diet, you could get a really nasty thing called scurvy that the pirates used to get. And so, unless you want to walk around with a peg leg and a patch over your eye, you probably ought to eat your citrus fruits.
That's right. You know, the cool thing about fruits and vegetables and even other agricultural parts of our diet is that they're not all produced here in Tennessee. You know, our bananas, they're not something that locally are grown here. We can't grow bananas commercially, meaning that large fields of banana trees are here. We have to ship those in from other countries. That's called importing. And so that's kind of an interesting thing. Our oranges and our other citrus fruits, a lemon and stuff, a lot of those come from our areas of Florida. So we visit Florida for the beaches, but we also get lots of citrus fruits there. Our grapes, often our production of grapes come from areas of California. That's a high production area for grapes. But then pears and apples, we do grow those a lot here in Tennessee. Specifically, we have a group here in Lincoln County on the Alabama line, Scott's Orchard, that some of you have heard of, that grow lots of apples and peaches here locally. And if you eat locally, then you not only support their growing of it, but you also are getting more nutrition because they're getting ripened in the field and they taste so much better.
And these different fruits that you have here grow on different types of plants. When you look, the pears and lemons and apples and oranges all grow on a tree that we would normally see with a good trunk and lots of leaves and stuff. But when we talk about the banana actually grows on a tree that doesn't have a normal brown trunk like we think about. It's a really soft trunk. And then grapes don't grow on a tree at all. They actually grow on the vine. And so the vines don't get really big, but they can get really long and live a really long time. Some grapevines will live over 100 years and keep producing grapes that entire time.
And since we're kind of talking about diet and nutrition with this, we would be amiss as part of the agriculture community to not mention the fact that plants are vital to nutrition, but so are our animal population. So it's important to get your fruits and vegetables in, but it's also important to get some good nutrition from your meats, you know, your pig products, your beef products, even your chicken. Always use good safety with those things, but we definitely want to make sure that you balance those things out and get your protein from those meat sources as well. And sometimes it's funny to talk about animals and eating them, but they do produce a very nutritious part of our diet that's very important for us to have as well.
And not only do they produce meat, but we also have dairy, your milks, cheeses, things like that. That's another important part of your nutrition. Those come from animals as well.
Did you know we have 3 dairies here in Lincoln County? We used to have a whole lot more dairies, but slowly but surely the dairies have had to close because it's just a lot of expense. One of our students here at Lincoln County, Maggie Donovan, has Donovan Farms, and they have a great dairy program, and we are proud to have her in our students here in Lincoln County FFA. And she does a great job taking care of her cattle and raising good quality dairy products for us. So hopefully you've learned quite a bit about diet and nutrition, and you're going to color an awesome picture to go along with that, and then you can talk to your mom and dad about how you can incorporate new products, new vegetables, new fruits in your diet at the grocery store.
Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Jennie, and we are going to learn how to do a still life drawing of fruit. You just watched a video where Mr. and Mrs. Burnum talked about the importance of food and nutrition and even where some of these things grew. So now what I'm going to do is show you how to actually do a still life drawing. So let's hop right in. Normally you would draw with a pencil, but I like to encourage my students to not get caught up on doing things perfect. So sometimes I will draw with a marker, and I actually make them draw with a marker in class because they're so caught up on things being perfect and I can't break them of it. So sometimes I make them do this in class as well. All right, the first thing that we want to do is start with our focal point. So our focal point, which is what is going to be the main interest of our picture, is going to be this bowl with fruit. Artists break things down into sections. So what I want to do is show you how to approach that. So the first thing that I'm going to do is in the center of my paper, I'm going to draw an oval. So it kind of looks like a floating pancake. Now notice when I sketch, you'll see all of these little lines. That's how artists work, and then they go back at the end and kind of pick the one that they want when they get ready to outline it. So we've got an oval that kind of looks like a floating pancake, and now I'm going to draw the bottom part of that. So artists like to break things down into sections. We are very right-brained. People that are left-brained look at things as a whole complete picture, but artists look at things in pieces. So we've got our little shape there. Now we want to put a horizon line in. Horizon line is just where the top meets the bottom. I want my horizon line for this picture to be pretty close to the top. So I'm going to draw a line on the left, kind of pick it up and come over, and then I'm going to draw my line on the right. Now I want to work on filling my bowl in. So the first thing that I want to do is start with that lemon. So I'm going to kind of draw a circle, but I want my circle to disappear. So I'm not going to see anything here because I want it to look like it's really sitting inside of that bowl. And then I'm going to add a little bump on the left and a little bump on the right. So if I were drawing this with a pencil, then I would obviously, when we get ready, erase the lines that I don't want to be there. So we've got our lemon. Now we want some overlapping. That just means when you have one item standing on top of the other, that creates depth and makes your work look more realistic. So we're going to start with the pear. So I'm going to draw a circle. Notice how big I'm drawing, and I'm making my circle extend beyond the top of the bowl. And now I'm going to put the top on that circle. So the top kind of looks like an upside down U. So if I were to take the U and turn it upside down, so that kind of sits and stretches out and it sits on top. And then I'm going to draw a little stem. So I'm going to draw a line and a curve under it. And if I want, I can thicken that up a little bit. So while everybody's getting caught up to that point, let's just recap a little bit. We drew an oval. We drew a curved line underneath it to make the bowl. We drew a line on both sides, which makes a horizon line. And then we've just used simple shapes on the inside. So I drew a circle. I made sure part of it is hidden by the front of the bowl to really make sure it looks like these items are nestled inside of it. We talked about some more overlapping. So I've got a circle here and it extends above the bowl. Remember, you'll be erasing these lines when you get ready to color. And then I did like a little upside down U shape with a stem. Okay, and I did add these little bumps here. So remember, art is not about it being perfect. You can see all my little lines I'm working out here as I sketch. All right, so now we're going to draw the apple. Again, it's going to extend beyond the bowl, so I'm going to draw a circle. Notice how big I did it. I'm going to go back in and kind of make this top of my circle indent a little bit. So it almost looks like a heart, kind of. So I'm changing that shape a little bit. I'm going to draw a stem. I'm going to fatten my stem up, put a little curve under it, and add a leaf. I think it's important for you to see this process and how I'm not worried about it being perfect. A lot of y'all get caught up on that. And it's just like with sports or anything else. The more you do things, the better you're going to get. With each drawing, you will improve. Okay, now we're going to do our grapes. I want them to sit higher than anything. I'm going to draw just the outline shape. When you do the outline shape of something, that's called a contour line drawing. That's a drawing that has very little interior detail. So right now we've just got the outline of those grapes. I'm going to go ahead and draw a stem on top. You could add a leaf there or a curly Q if you wanted to. So now we've got to add circles in here to make it look like grapes. Now I said grapes, not blueberries. So we don't want to draw teeny tiny shapes. We want for these to be pretty good sized grapes. So I'm going to draw one big grape right here in the center. And then I'm going to start and draw more circles like this. And remember, we've been talking about overlapping. So I want for this grape or this circle to look like it's sitting on top of the ones behind it. So keep that in mind as you sketch. We want to have some overlapping. We want there to be an illusion that we have some sitting on top of others. Okay. So we've got our grapes, our pear, our apple, our lemon. Now on your bowl, you can decorate whatever you want. You can do squiggle lines. You could do a Clemson sign on the front, an Auburn sign, an Alabama. You can do whatever you want, but you want to decorate your bowl. We want something decorative. A lot of times when people buy things, they buy it because of what is printed on it. Something that catches their eye or something that they're interested in. So you're going to decorate your bowl with whatever you want. Now, if that's going to take you some time or you need to find an image to look at, to draw from, if you were doing something that was an iconic image like that, you can always stop the filming and then you can come back to the video. So if you wanted to add something super fancy, I would encourage you to come back and do that at the end. So let's go ahead and put a little shadow. You want things to look like they're sitting on your table. So we're going to do a little bit of a shadow. In the background, we're going to create a pattern. So you're going to do several lines. Try and space them out equally. So you can eyeball this. It does not have to be perfect. I've got pretty wide stripes. And then on one side, we're just going to do squiggle lines. And then on the next, we're going to do broken lines. So on one, we're going to do squiggle lines. And on one, we're going to do broken lines. Squiggle lines, broken lines, squiggle lines, broken lines, various lengths, and squiggles. So we have a pattern in the background. All right, we've got two things left we need to draw. On the right, we want to draw an orange. So we're going to draw a circle. Now remember, you want to work your way around that shape. I wanted to do this in a marker so that you can see how an artist approaches things and you know that they're not always perfect. They have to come back and refine everything. All right, so I've got a circle there. Put you a shadow somewhere on your paper. Okay, and then over here, we're going to draw a banana. So that's probably one of my most favorite things to eat that we see in this picture. All right, I'm going to draw a curved line. And I'm going to draw a little square on the top and a little square on the bottom. And then we're going to draw another curved line and make them meet. I can put a few interior details on this, and if I wanted to, I'd probably fatten that up just a little bit. So again, it's important for you to see as an artist, I look at my work, I critique myself, I see what I can do to make things better. All right, and I'm gonna put a shadow underneath there. So again, this is called a still life. You're studying food and nutrition. All of these are great things that you can eat. We know a balanced diet, you also need to have a lot of water, and proteins are really good to have as well. When you color your still life, I want you to make sure that you have erased any lines that you don't need. So those boo-boo lines, erase them. Go back in with a black crayon and you're going to outline everything nice and neat with black, and then you're going to color it. Remember to mix your colors. So on your orange, you've got orange and a little bit of red mixed in there. This lemon has a tinge of brown. Your grapes have blue and purple. There's two different greens. Look at the background. And again, I want to encourage you, art is about doing your own thing. Yes, we want your picture to look like a still life, but I don't want you to do it just like me. So when you do your background, pick some of your own colors, okay? Now, after you finish with this, you are going to write down, if you could go to a restaurant, what balanced meal would you like to eat? Okay, so you can pick any restaurant that you go to. If you go to that restaurant, what protein are you going to have? What vegetables and fruits are you going to have served? What are you going to drink? And remember, you want it to be balanced. So you can't just have all chicken fingers or all French fries. So what are you going to order and have? All right, when you're finished, make sure that you take some pictures and upload your artwork along with your narrative to my page. Thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you the next time.